I've talked about this game before in another video, as it's one of my most anticipated ones for this year. Telltale's Fate was a real hit for me, as I really enjoyed all of their games, so they did leave a pretty big hole for me in the interactive, story-driven point-and-click genre. So when I heard that former Telltale talent got together to make another Telltale-like studio and games, I was incredibly excited and happy to hear as much. Ad Hoc Studio will also be helping Telltale make the next Wolf Among Us installment, so not only will the release of Dispatch be great news because we'll finally be able to play it, but this also probably means that once this is done, Ad Hoc will most likely have more time to help Telltale with Wolf Among Us 2 before moving on with the other game of theirs that they've got planned, which so far seems to be a D&D game, judging by the project name and the publisher. So here's what you can expect from the game and what the devs talked about in their recent Discord Q&A. So, a quick summary for those that aren't aware. In Dispatch, you play as a superhero who, after an accident, lost his suit and is now working at a call center where he has to manage a dysfunctional group of misfit heroes. You will have to strategize and consider which superhero is best for each job depending on their strengths and weaknesses. While that is all happening, you will also have to navigate office politics, relationships of all kinds, while of course trying to get back to being a superhero again yourself. So the game will be releasing on the 22nd of October. But I need to be clear that when they say on the 22nd, they mean the first 2 episodes of the game, not the entire game. The game is comprised of 8 episodes, which will be released 2 at a time over a period of 4 weeks. So the first 2 episodes will be released on the 22nd, the next 2 on the 29th, and so on. So basically, we will be getting 2 episodes every week. I know that all other Telltale fans probably went,
oh no, no, no.
and are also freaking out right now because we can all still remember Telltale just going back on their promised release dates, postponing them, cancelling them, and so on. I still remember waiting an entire month to play the next episode, and then the sheer disappointment of seeing their announcement that we would have to, wait another month or something for the next episode instead. Telltale's problem, which we went over in that other video, was that they had bitten off more than they could chew and were developing multiple games at a time live. Fret not, however, as the Ad Hoc devs have already said that the game is complete from start to finish and they just chose to keep to this episodic release of the game since it helps build more hype, momentum, and it's not, just a game that you play during a weekend or something and then just forget about it. So it's not like they will go back on their 1-week waiting period promise, as the game is already finished and they just chose to release it episodically instead of just, all of it in one go. They also spoke about the fact that there will be no pre-ordering for the game, which was a major green flag for me because, why? It's not like they're going to run out of copies or something, and I really don't like the scammy, pre-order now and get to play the game a day ahead of the plebeian commoners who didn't just throw an extra 100 euros or dollars, what have you, our way. They also talked about how pre-ordering could mess up a game's hype because apparently if people pre-order it now, once it goes live, it's not like the numbers are going to go up in the Steam charts, and they want to give this game a chance to hopefully become somewhat of a success, because let's be honest, this isn't really a game of mass appeal. The gamers that are most hyped about this game are ex-Telltale fans, but outside of this niche fan club, not many people know about, much less want to play such games. Not to mention that even us Telltale fans didn't really know about this game until relatively recently, I would say, since the game seems to have been developing quietly in the background until they actually had something concrete to show us, which I honestly appreciate and respect, since I really cannot stand when studios just announce and promise things years or decades in advance without having any idea what or even if they can deliver on any of their promises. So hopefully, by buying it on the day of the release, it can climb the charts enough so that even people who don't usually play such games can hopefully see it on there and decide to give the game a chance. Which frankly is a clever move on their part, and it also makes them look great and not scummy by promising us extra stuff if we pre-order, aka pay them earlier than expected without even having played the game first. They also went over QTEs, which apparently can be turned off for those that do not like them, but I personally do not mind them, to be honest. On the contrary, I like them, especially when it comes to these type of games. I think they add a bit of action into them. But they did say that for people who want more of a relaxed and cinematic experience, they can turn those off and enjoy the game for just its story. As far as saves are concerned, we will have 3 slots, and once the episode is finished, we will be able to go back and replay specific scenes of the episode as well, just like in Telltale games. Of course, they've also said that the player choice statistics will be making a comeback for this game as well, akin to those we used to have in their old Telltale games, which is another aspect of these games that I really loved, as it was always fun for me to compare what the majority of people has done versus what I have chosen to do instead. So overall, the game is surprisingly one of the most anticipated ones for me this year, as I hadn't really heard of the game until the demo had been released, to be honest, and once I played it, my addiction for Telltale games was born anew. I have been waiting for The Wolf Among Us 2 for so long that I really cannot wait to play a game like this again, and also hopefully see Ad Hoc Studio become as popular as old Telltale, and hopefully also become a household name for these type of games, because while niche, I do believe that there are enough of us for these type of games to be successful and sustainable for studios who do decide to take a chance and create such story-focused games. As for Dispatch, it does look, sound and feel like the devs have retained their old Telltale spark of magic that made their games so unique and enjoyable, and I cannot wait to support them in this new endeavor of theirs.